Raymond Berry. Berry attacked the game cerebrally, calibrating the proper steps and spacing that are so integral to the modern route tree. Essentially, Antonio Brown owes a little something to the former Baltimore Colt, who, by the way, was a two-time NFL champion and a first ballot Hall of Famer. Marvin Harrison. Harrison was as consistent a wide receiver as you will ever see.
Touchdown! The 86 touchdown pass from Manning to Marvin Harrison.
His career took off during Peyton Manning's second year. From that season until 2006, Harrison posted 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns every season. Calvin Johnson. From 2011 to 2013, he was considered the best wide receiver in pro football, and perhaps outside of quarterbacks, the best player in pro football. He produced 3 of the best seasons a wideout could hope to have, averaging more than 110 yards per game, while darn near eclipsing 2,000 yards in 2012. How he posted 1,331 yards and 12 touchdowns for an 0-16 team in 2008, and with Dan Orlovsky chucking him the football, is anyone's guess. Larry Fitzgerald. He is already in the top 15 in receptions, yardage, and touchdowns. Really, it's the postseason where Fitzgerald has shined. In 9 career playoff games, he's averaged more than 100 yards per contest and at least 1 touchdown.
It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time.
Terrell Owens. T.O. is second all-time in yards and third in touchdown grabs. Why is he not higher?
They hate to love me!
Mostly because of the era he played in, and because everyone I've spoken with who was in the NFL during T.O.'s career said Moss scared them more from a scheme standpoint. Still, Owens could play with anybody. Steve Largent. Largent was a model of consistency who held the career receptions, yardage, and touchdowns record at the time of his retirement. The former Seahawk posted 8 1,000-yard seasons despite playing through 2 strikes. Largent was named to the Hall of Fame's all-decade team of the 80s, just in case you didn't know. Lance Alworth. Alworth was the Randy Moss of his day, except more complete. His 1965 and 1966 seasons still might be the best back-to-back campaigns a receiver has ever had. In those 2 seasons, he averaged more than 110 yards per game and exactly 1 touchdown per game at more than 20 yards per catch. Give me a break. He was the first true AFL player elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah!
Moss is such a difficult player to place, yet he was so dominant for stretches during his career that number 3 just feels right. During his first 6 years in the league, he posted more than 8,000 receiving yards and 77 touchdowns. Most importantly, defensive coordinators were more afraid of Moss than any player in the NFL, with that fear surfacing his very first year. The former Marshall product was as good out of the gate as any player in league history. Who could forget 17 touchdowns that season? Jim Brown is often thought of as the top player in all of NFL history, but Don Hudson held that honor for the league's first 50 years. Hudson's NFL record of 99 career receiving touchdowns was not surpassed until 40 years after he retired. When he hung him up in the mid-1940s, he had posted nearly twice as many receptions as the next closest player. Jerry Rice, simply the greatest of all time. Rice is so far ahead of everyone in receptions, yards, and touchdown catches that frankly, his records will never be surpassed due to both his productivity and his longevity. The guy played 20 seasons. His most impressive accomplishment might have been his 23 touchdown campaign in 1987, which he accomplished in 12 games. Rice combined work ethic, explosiveness at the snap, a perfectionist personality, and want to become the standard at the position.